Hi friends, so today we are gonna be unboxing or getting some napkins that was sent by Lisa from Lovensthelife, and this is for our collaboration or our challenge, napkin exchange. And I'm so excited to see all these. I can already see I'm gonna love them. This is some beautiful, beautiful napkins. I love Daisy, so thank you for that. I don't know exactly. I might use it for something else. This is pretty cute. Yeah, I think I know what I'm gonna do with that. I had one of these in my stash, so I already had plans for that, so that's awesome. This, oh my God, the bicycle stuff this year in DollarTree is amazing. So I love this. I think I know what I'm gonna do with this one. Hopefully I have enough time to do that. And this is Saturday night. This is due by Wednesday. So this is Sunday night, actually. Buffalo check. You can never go wrong. Buffalo check. I don't know. But oh my God, this one. I think I'm going to be using this one. The challenge is to do one or more. I'm going to start with one and see where I go from there, because time is of the essence here. So, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and think about this for a little while, and I'll see you guys later. All right, I forgot my card, guys, and usually that's my favorite part. I don't know what happened today. I love cards. I have every single card anybody ever given me. Cards mean a lot to me. All right, Loli, excited to see what you will create. Happy crafting, Lisa, Lovensthelife. All right. Thank you, Lisa. I can't wait to see what I'm going to create too, because I have no idea right now. Well, we'll find out together.
DIY number 1. For this DIY, I used one of these picture frames from the Dollar Tree. And what I'm going to do is remove the back end and all of the insides of it. And I'm going to go ahead and put aside the glass in the frame. And I'm going to be working with the back piece over here. From the pack of napkins, I decided to go with this one. So I want to find a color that will tie these together. So I needed to create a color. I didn't quite have a color that I could use. So I took one of the creamsicle color from Apple Barrel, and I'm adding some red to it in small increments until I get to the tone of peach. It's not peach, it's more like a guava color. So I just kept adding a drop of the red until I got to the perfect color, and here with the second try, there it is. So the first thing I did, I took the napkin and I traced it on the back of the back end paper of the picture frame, and I'm going to color in the sides in which the napkins won't be showing, and I'm going to color the inside part using my Rust-Oleum cream color, chiffon cream is called, yes. And I'm going to completely cover the middle in order to have a nice uniform finish when I apply my napkin. I dried it with my heat gun, and then I'm going to see here how it works. I wanted this to be more like of an ombre effect, so I took my paintbrush that was pretty wet, and I took a little bit of paint and I just brought it in a little bit more. Then I tested to see where my napkin was falling. And now that I'm happy with the back end, I went over and I'm cutting the portion of napkin that I'll be using for this DIY. For this one, I decided to use one entire side of the napkin. Once I had my napkin cut off, I took a little bit of watered down paint, and I'm just applying it softly into the edges of the napkin, just to help me with that amber effect so everything ties together properly. Then I removed the second layer of paper from the napkin, and I'm placing it down to see exactly how it will look in my surface. I'm very happy with it, so I'm taking some more of that paint, and I just want to put it all along the edges. So I watered it down a bit, and I'm applying it to the top on the bottom as well, just in case my napkin overlaps a bit. That will help me camouflage that. Once that was dry, I went over and put my napkin back in the area. As you can see, I used my heat gun to help me with the drying process. And now I'm taking my Mod Podge and I'm just going to completely cover the entire surface. I did do a pretty thin layer because I did apply some paint to that, and I just didn't want this paper to become kind of soggy with all the different layers of paint I put on it. So I just did a thin layer of Mod Podge, making sure that it was a nice cohesive or a nice even coat, so every part of the napkin will be down. And once it dried, I placed my napkin down and make sure it was the position that I wanted it, and I took my little heat press here. I just got this one, guys. I love it. It's so tiny. I have a little bit bigger one, but this one just works for small projects like this. And I went over it and the heat activated my Mod Podge, and this came out so nicely. It was not wrinkled or anything. And then I'm gonna just apply a little bit of Mod Podge on the sides as well, just to, you know, make everything a little bit more uniform. And I did that to the sides of the napkin and the areas that I painted. Once my entire surface was dry from the Mod Podge, I just put it into my picture frame, place everything back in, and this is how we ended up looking. I love this. I love how the way that the frame plays with the colors inside. And I'm not sure. For now, this is it. And I'm not done yet. I took it back onto the drawing board and I'm going to add some of these flowers to it. First thing I did, I pull apart and I'm just going to dissect it. I'm going to cut the flowers into two small individual little stems, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the plastic piece from where the leaves are, and we are going to add this to the corner of the picture frame. Then I took some jute cord and I'm going to make a bow. I just wrapped the jute cord around my hand a couple of times and then tied it in the middle using another piece of jute cord and glued it onto the middle of the flowers. And voila, we are done. Here it is. Let me know how you like it. I love it. Friends, this video is part of the Napkin Exchange Challenge. It is hosted by Sarah from Sunflowers and DIYing, and the co-host is Handicraf-ting with Mimi. The link to their channels along with the playlist will be in the description box below. Don't forget to go and say hi. And be sure to click on the playlist so you don't miss out on all the inspiration available in this playlist. DIY number 2. For this project, I'll be using 2 of these recycled tins and my chiffon cream paint, and I'm going ahead and paint them with the magic of the camera. And I'm going to be using the same napkins that I used for the previous DIY, but I will be using the floral print that's at the bottom. I made sure to cut them as straight and as even as possible. I checked to make sure that it will wrap completely around, and it didn't, but don't you worry, we will solve that problem in just a little while. I removed the second ply and put it to the side for now, and I'm going to take another of the napkins and I'm going to go ahead and remove the floral portion from it so we can use it for this DIY as well. This piece actually had some extra paper, so I'm going to use that piece that I'm going to cut off of this one to complete the other piece missing from the other piece of flowers. Next, I took some Mod Podge and I'm going to go ahead and attach the tissue paper to it. I remove the additional layer that it had applied, and I'm going to be adding Mod Podge in very small sections, and I'm going to use the rings of the can to help me stay straight or stay in the same level as I'm going around the entire can. I also made sure to tap the paper onto the ridges to make sure that everything stays nice and symmetrical and that the indentations are noticeable. It just shows an extra layer of texture on here, and it makes it also look like this is completely part of the can and not something that we just Mod Podge. So just use the brush while it's still damp in the same direction of the rings of the can to be able to mold the paper into those rings as well. Friends, if you have not done so yet, I will like if you will consider subscribing. It is free and it means the world to me. And voila, here they are completed. And now we're going to take some of this floral foam from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut pieces big enough to go inside of each one of these cans. I just use my scraper to make those cuts. Then I take these two floral picks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the tags from them and cut them short enough to go into these. First, I try to just do it like just cutting a section and sticking it on there just the way it is, but it didn't quite, sit the way that I expected. It was a little bit too high up, so I wanted to be lower to the can, so I cut individually each one of the flowers off, trying to cut everything at the same level in which they were in the pick to, maintain that look that it had originally. I fluffed my flowers and did the same thing with the other can. And here they are all completed. I absolutely love this. The colors are so serene, beautiful for this spring. Let me know what you think. DIY number 3. For this project, I used one of these boards that I got during summertime at the Dollar Tree. I completely removed the embellishment from the front. It took a little bit of elbow grease and heat, but we got it done. Then I sanded it down a bit to remove the hanger, and now I'm going to take my Rust-Oleum chiffon paint and I'm going to completely cover it. Once it dried, I sanded down the surface, dusted it off, and we are ready for the next part. I'm going to be using this napkin once again, and I'm going to cut the bottom of it. I'm going to be using the flower section for the next step of this DIY. Then I took those pieces, separated the tissue in 2 separate plies, and I'm going to be using the ply that is printed. I am going to cut the excess off, and we're going to put it to the side for now. I'm going to go ahead and use my square ruler, and I'm going to create some lines to help me guide in where I'm going to be placing the napkin on. Then I applied Mod Podge to those 2 sections, and while those dried, I decided to work on another piece of napkin. I'm going to cut one section where the bicycle is and the wording, and I'm going to be removing the tissue paper layer from the back as well. Then I decided that I was going to Mod Podge the entire board. I should have done it from the beginning, but I didn't. So I Mod Podged the entire surface evenly, and now that everything dried, I'm going to put my napkin on each corner, and I'm going to be using my little heat press to put it in place. And then once I was done, I used my sanding block to sand off the excess napkin as well. Then I took the paint that I created in the beginning, and I'm going to put it all along the inner perimeter of the board. Then I added the same paint along the edges of the napkin as well. Then I positioned it in the lower portion of the wood piece here and pressed it down using my mini press. Now it's time to embellish things. I took these flowers from the Dollar Tree. I cut off the picks off a bit, and I put together 2 bundles of 3 of the picks, and I just tied jute cord in the top part and then rolled the jute cord along the entire stem until I got to the length desired and cut off the excess. I repeated this process for 2 of these bundles. Then I added greenery from the Dollar Tree on the sides. Here you'll see the flowers that I got those from. They were the perfect size for this project. Using this burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree, I'm going to be creating a bow, and using another burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree, I'm going to cover the jute cord in the middle. Then I prepped the hanger. I took the hanger the wood sign came with, and I'm going to just simply thread some of these natural beads onto the jute cord just to give this another level of style. And then I replaced the hanger. Here it is. Now it's time to attach these small little trees that I made onto my board. I first attached the fern and then added more hot glue to the back and placed down my jute cord bunches. I went over and attached the bow using a bit of hot glue as well. Dovetailed the ends of my bow. I should have done this before I attached it, but hey, let's just go with the flow here, right? And then this is what it's looking like, but I'm not done yet. I'm going to go ahead and make 2 jute cord bows, and I'm going to attach them to the bottom section of the jute cord flower bundles. And now we are actually done, and here it is. I love this piece, guys. It came out so awesome. It is so airy, it's all happy, and it goes well with the previous DIYs. I am truly loving these, guys. Let me know what you think, which one is your favorite. And don't forget to go visit my friends on the playlist. Click on that link. You will find such amazing inspiration. And be sure to share, like, and comment. These simple actions really help our channels grow. And thank you so much for watching. Be blessed, be a blessing, and craft responsibly. Have an amazing day, and if you like to follow me on social media, here are my social media links, and please follow and have an amazing day. Bye.